Hi, thanks for checking us out this week. And so I am taking a look at the passage in Luke where Jesus lists some cities that are basically generally going to be condemned because they bore witness to Jesus's deity and yet still did not believe. So, one thing that I noted in the commentary is that he mentions a city called Chorazin, which isn't mentioned in the gospel accounts other than when Jesus is saying that it's going to be condemned. That doesn't mean that none of the miracles that are recorded necessarily that they didn't happen there. It's just that it doesn't specifically say we were in Chorazin and Jesus did this. So, but I did think that was interesting because so many times it says that they were in Capernaum or Nazareth or wherever else they were. So, but Chorazin was only about 2 miles away from Capernaum. It makes total sense that he spent a lot of time there. And the one of the things that surprised me is that he also calls out Capernaum in this rebuke. And so he had not spent as much time in Nazareth because he was so rejected there. But so it was interesting to me that he also feels like Capernaum rejected him, even though in parts of the gospel it calls Capernaum his own, Jesus's own city. So I was pretty fascinated by what these cities that he thought as a whole were going to be condemned because of their unbelief. And then also, even though he condemns all these cities, he talks about how God's plan was to reveal himself to more of the uneducated or labor class as opposed to the intellectual class. And Jesus praises God for that plan. But he also says that no one knows the Father except the Son, and who the Son chooses to reveal the Father to. So I thought I had never really picked up on that before, but I found that really interesting. So they're mainly targeting this sort of lower class, but then also Jesus can choose to reveal God to whomever he pleases. And then the last part is more of an encouragement, and it kind of helps you understand that Jesus is not saying, I want you to work harder than what the Pharisees have asked you to do. He says, my yoke is easy. So why don't you believe in me? Why aren't you into this? But he encourages people to come to him and believe in him. And I feel like it wrapped up on a really a much lighter note and a little more positive for the reader. So check it out, and I hope to see you next time.